why aren't more Jews in France who are in greater threat, in greater peril from the Muslims in their society, why aren't they moving more towards their own self-defense and self-interest towards the more conservative politics and conservative activism?
They try to do it, but if you look at conservative parties, if you look at the moderate right in France, I could say that the moderate right in France see that many Muslims vote, so they want votes. If they look at the French Jewish community, they see that it's a small community. You have only 400,000 Jews still living in France. You had much more in the past, but many Jews left France to go to the US, to Canada, or to Israel, and so you have less and less Jews. So it's okay to support Jews if you want the Jewish vote, but it's much less interesting than to get the Muslim vote, because you have 8 million Muslims in France, and so it's a much larger vote. So many politicians belonging to the moderate right will be ready to say nothing about this topic because they want to get the Muslim vote.
How do you see the same dynamic being reflected in the United States Democratic Party, with Representative Keith Ellison assuming so much power and the party being pulled towards the far left? How do you see that playing out now for historically Jewish Democrats, Democrat voters, and the party's policies towards Palestinianism and anti-Semitism?
I could say that the Democratic Party is not the party that it was 20 years ago. It's more and more a leftist party, and radical Muslims have more and more influence in the party right now, and I think that it's a big concern, a big problem, and I think that many Jews in the US would have to see it and to feel more and more uncomfortable when they see what's happening to the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party has become a leftist and pro-Islam party, and I think that I think that it's very dangerous for the future of the United States, and I think that if you look at the programs and the platform of the parties that was published a few months before the presidential election, you could see that the Republican Party was the strong supporter of Israel, and that it was not the case with the Democratic Party. So there is an evolution. I understand that people wants the support of Israel and the fight against anti-Semitism to be bipartisan, but I must say that if I look carefully at what things what's happening, I see that it's not the case anymore. You can see that the Democratic Party is becoming a different party. I hope that it will be possible to change things in the Democratic Party. I have nothing against Democrats, but I see the difference. It's not even the political party that it was at the time of Bill Clinton, and it's not at all the party that it was at the time of John Kennedy.
Now you must be saying this because you're a Jew and you're concerned, are you?
No, I'm not a Jew. I'm just a human being concerned by human rights and by the respect for human beings. And I think that maybe I have a strong sensibility about it because I could see what did happen to the Jews in Europe 70 years ago. And I take seriously the words never again. I support Israel because I know Israel. It's a free and democratic country, and I have many friends in Israel. And I see what's happening in Europe with leftists and with radical Muslims. So I say to Americans, be aware of what did happen to Europe. Europe was not like that 25, 30 years ago, and the difference can come very, very fast. I used to work for the European Union as an expert, so I was going to Brussels very often. When I was going to Brussels 25 years ago, it was a European country. Now, if I go to Brussels, if I arrive at the station, I have the feeling that I'm not in a European city anymore. I feel that I'm in a radical Muslim city. So the change can come very, very fast, and I could say that I see the same happening in the suburbs of Paris and of all the main big cities in France.